Good evening. Well, actually from Malawi, it's good evening, but good morning, afternoon, evening, all the things to everyone joining us for episode 2 of Amplifying Accessibility. I'm very excited. I don't know if you can tell, but yes, I'm very excited. So Alex, do you want to say anything?
Mel, absolutely jazzed to be here with you in space. People might think that our Bitmojis are not real. We're actually coming at you from space, looking down on Earth. And no, I'm just absolutely thrilled that the time has finally come. There's been a lot of prepping for this. No longer have to present this time. I'm actually going to be kind of like a co-host. But I don't think we can come up with 3 better individuals, 2 better platforms to continue on our little web series of amplifying accessibility. And just so excited to see Jessica and Michelle in the chat. We appreciate you joining us, and everybody else around the world. If you're watching us live or if you're watching us on a replay, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoy it and that you can take something away from today's session.
Absolutely. Thanks for that, Alex. That was epic. Okay, so for today, let me introduce to you, just in case it's your first time watching. I know it's episode 2, but it might be your first time. So the purpose of the webinar, to explore how edtech tools can enhance learning and inclusivity and create more equitable learning experiences for all students. That is the whole idea. And then the objectives, Alex?
Yes, as a classic teacher, those learning targets that we want to get out of our session, Mel, we're going to highlight accessibility integrations in Book Creator app and Quizizz, discuss practical edtech applications in classrooms, and also share some takeaway resources and actionable ideas to implement in your class or school. So Book Creator, Quizizz, 2 amazing platforms that really offer a lot to neurodivergent multilingual learners. And I think that within the next 25, 30 minutes, everybody's going to see that in spades.
Yes, that is going to be awesome. I'm very excited for this. So thank you again for everyone for joining. And we are going to actually start with a Quizizz to just gauge, what your feelings are about accessibility and what you know about it. I'm also going to drop the link in the chat, and we do encourage participation here. Okay, like not going to reveal about what's going to happen here, but highly recommend participation. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat for you guys as well.
Yes, you never know what's going to happen in episode 2, everyone. There could be some surprises. We have some amazing speakers today. So you really want to be active and attractive in the chat today, and also in our Quizizz poll to start.
Absolutely. Let's have a look to see who's joining. Let's share. We have 3 participants, Michelle, David, and Alex. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Katie's joined as well. Love that.
So for people who might be a little bit unfamiliar with some of the newer aspects of Quizizz, you're actually looking at your avatar, which is called your qubit, which are very fun and customizable. I've been in classrooms recently in my school district. I'm an educational technology coach at Long Branch Public Schools, and kids were just absolutely going wild for a Grinch skin. So I want to make sure that that's on the record. Also, we're going to be showing you some accessibility tools within this Quizizz couple of question activity. However, Alana, you're backstage, but we just want you to know we're not trying to steal any thunder from you. We know you're going to delve a lot better than us into the accessibility options on the platform.
Yeah, we're trying to make this like a chill Quizizz, and then you'll like show all the things later in your presentation. So only got like 2 questions in here. So
yes,
it's all right. Okay, let's see. Oh, we've got 7 people in. Oh, Jessica made it in. Fantastic. I reckon we can start this.
And I briefly saw Kyle Neemish joining. How nice of him to be in on this session with us. We
appreciate goodness me, he's in here.
I mean, New Jersey in the house. Kyle, me, and Alana. We're representing strong today. Squad goals, everybody.
This is epic. Okay, I'm going to start this now, and good luck. I mean, it's not actually multiple choice, but just good luck anyway. So the first question today is, what does accessibility look, sound, and feel like to you? And you can also play this.
What does accessibility look, sound, and feel like to you?
Just in case,
Love it. Love it.
And just in case it's your first time using Quizizz, there is this option to open the audio recorder and then it will pop up with like, oh yes, record my voice. And I should stop talking for a moment so that I don't interrupt your recordings.
Yes, we'll give everyone a moment here. Mel, I'm going to talk kind of quietly because I don't know how long I can go without speaking and having this dead air at the
We should
moment.
put like thinking music in here, you know.
We should have. Maybe you want to turn up the music in the background a little bit, at least.
I don't know. I think the music is a bit like intense.
Is it intense? Let's hear what we got.
Yeah, it's intense. It's not
I think we're
intense.
okay. I'm getting some X-Files vibes here. That's okay though. We're all right. So I will talk quietly. We really do love the idea of having any type of question read aloud to you. That's really making accessible options for you. And you also have that option to record your voice. So I know that Book Creator is going to be talking a lot about student choice, but that's also incorporated into Quizizz as well.
You saw them.
So Michelle, we apologize. Between my voice and the music, I'm sure I've ruined everything. It's kind of been going that way for me this week.
You're fine, Alex. We're okay here. I mean, the idea is just to highlight different features, you know, of Quizizz and
absolutely
to share. I know some of you are probably still recording, and it's like that thing, you know, when you're live and you're like, oh, I want to let everyone, you know, have a chance to record and share their voice right now. They're like, oh no, but we have like time. We need, you know, the focus is not on us today. It is on the people that are coming to share. And of course, it's on you guys. You guys are participating, right? So it's like about prioritizing. But I think maybe most people have.
I think we can move on, Mel, and one of them is me. So I know Jessica's going to be a little bit bummed out, but we can keep moving. Let's keep moving here, and we can always check those out a little bit later.
That is true.
We appreciate everybody who participated.
And I mean, I could play all your recordings, but I won't do that right now. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next question.
Jessica, it's very possible that you heard a lot of me while you were trying to share an answer. That's very possible. Now, this is a question that really is pertinent, especially in today's climate in educational technology and just teaching in general. I mean, I, as a former teacher, respect Mel all the more, just knowing the amount of time, planning, and dedication you need to have to be able to provide feedback, mark papers and tests, and be able to make connections with students. But integrating tech can sometimes be a challenge for us. So we would love to know what aspect that we listed here is the most challenging piece in your class, at your school, for you to integrate accessibility features, accessibility tools within your practice. It's something that we're very passionate about. We're trying to amplify it with these webinars, but we still know that there are different agendas, different people with different priorities, and it could be just really become a challenge to nurture that usage and proficiency in different ed tech tools. So we'd love to hear what you have to say on this prompt. And if it's none of those first three, click other and then drop it in the chat for us if you're with us live, so that we can kind of see what your reason is as far as what's the challenges that I'm undergoing now with whatever role you have in education.
Absolutely. Okay. So I'm going to just end this question and we can have a look at, ooh, okay. That's quite disperse. How do you say that? It's like,
I think either one would work there, Mel. I think either one works. And Jessica, we know each other. I don't agree with your sentiments there. I think you're very well versed at many different tools. And you know what the best part about this is? What we don't know, we learn and we get better. That's what it's really all about. But I know you're a great advocate for fantastic tech tools. And Michelle, I'm sure all of the above would be a great answer as well. But trying to pinpoint the biggest one, and then all we could do as tech coaches, innovative educators, is try to still push those technology enhanced type of opportunities to our students.
Absolutely. So I am actually going to do this like spin the wheel thing. If it's one of us that are picked, we will we will spin again.
We will.
And we'll explain in a moment why we are spinning the wheel. Okay, we're going to do a big reveal after this, or Alex can do a big reveal after this.
Sure. Mel, here's the fear that we get me, David, and then like Katie back to back. We'll see though. Let's give it a run. Here we go.
Let's try.
Very excited. All right. I can almost guarantee it's going to be one of us, but let's find out. You know what? Okay. So maybe I need to go play the lotto. We'll spin it one more time. And while Mel spins it one more time, Quizizz and Alana were generous enough to share a swag code to their store. Mel, I think I'm being 100% accurate so far here. So we're going to get that now, hopefully on the third spin here. I'm going to fully predict it's me next. Hey, okay, we got, I don't think that's a person in with us hosting, even though we have a lot of people with us today, and it's an international affair, Mel. I'm not sure, though. Jessica F., thank you for participating. We'll get you that code as soon as possible. Please get us your information in the chat or following up on Twitter with us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for participating, everyone. That was great. So I'm going to go back to my screen over here, and I'm going to... yeah, I think we're going to bring on our presenters, actually, first presenters. So going to bring up David and Katie. Yeah,
hey,
welcome.
So welcome to you both. And before we turn the stage over to you, I just want to say, you know, my district, Long Branch Public Schools, we did actually purchase Book Creator and bring it in. And I can share that we have a media specialist at our school, Amerigo A. Anastasia School, Mrs. Basili. I was in one of her getting started class periods where she was getting her classes set up on Book Creator. And when she told her kids, hey, we're going to get you set up on Book Creator and get started in an All About Me book, the kids legitimately were like, yay. And it was real. So, you know, I can only tell you, for anybody out there that's not familiar with this platform, even though I don't know how it could be with how great you all do with your socials, it really is just a platform that is for everybody. And I think everyone, if you're not up on the advancements to the accessibility features from like the spring on, you're going to be absolutely amazed by what Katie and David are presenting to us. So we have David Hotler, who is the community manager of Book Creator. And we also have Katie Fielding, educational content manager, who, in all honesty, when Mel and I were developing this idea, was one of the first people I thought of because of how passionate she is about accessibility. So I can't wait to listen into your presentation and just see your shares. So very appreciative of you both. And just, we know you're going to rock it.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I'm going to share your screen, Katie, and then I'm going to take Alex and myself off and have fun. We'll see you soon.
Awesome, great. Hotler and I are super excited to share our favorite accessibility features with you today. As they kindly introduced, I'm the educational content manager, so I do a lot of the books that you'll find in our Discover section, creating those. And Hotler is the man with the people.
Thanks, Katie. Yeah, I guess I'm the community manager here at Book Creator. That just means I get to do things like this and engage with teachers who are using Book Creator in some of the most innovative ways that I have ever seen. But Katie, we've got 5 things to share with folks. I'm really excited. You're going to kick us off with the first few. What do you got?
Yeah, we like to preview learning here. So we're going to give you a little anticipation guide with the 5 things we're going to share with you today. We have student choice. We have captions and transcriptions, translations, our read aloud feature, and publishing. So let's get into them. The first one I want to highlight is student choice. So you'll see here on the screen, we have our 5 main tools: imagery, the pen tool, our audio tool, our camera or video tool, and our text tool. And students, we encourage students to use any of their choice to share their learning. This is really that opportunity in Universal Design for Learning, that middle piece, the purple representation, giving students the choice of how they want to share what they know. And so our basic UI or user experience in Book Creator is 2 buttons. And that's also an accessibility feature. It's a very clean, simple user experience. Students know there's 2 places to go: the plus sign to add content. And so you'll see those 5 main tools here. And then once they add their content, they can use the inspector to customize it. So it's a really, we like to say it's the simplest, most inclusive way for students to create content and demonstrate learning. And so I personally love that we have and highlight these 5 choices. When I'm designing my content, I like to use these icons to remind students that they can choose. Am I going to use my voice to share? I'm going to type. And also within these choices, there are some options too. For instance, in our text tool, I can come in here and I can do speech to text. So if I'm more comfortable with speaking, but I do want the words on the page, I can use that tool. And I can additionally do it in my home language if I'm a multilingual learner. So while it may seem like there's 5 choices, there's really like a plethora of ways that we are enabling students to create and share their stories. So I'm going to pass it to Hotler, and he has the next 2.
Yeah. Thank you, Katie. That was awesome. And really what Katie's showing is our secret sauce. It's simplicity, right? We are purpose-built for education, which makes us super competitive in the space where we're trying to be accessible. So I'm going to show off a few things here. And I just want to wrap your head around this before I get started, because demoing these things can be a lot. I'm going to show you how you can add transcripts to audio, you can add subtitles to video, and how you can translate text, books, and all kinds of different things. So the first thing that I want to show you, though, I've created this library and I have a book in it. It's just a demo book about a learning portfolio. This step can take a few extra seconds, so I'm going to do it now and then come back to it later. But pay attention, check this out. When I'm in my library view here and I press the 3 dots, I have the option to translate this book. And if this isn't the view you like this book, it's down here in the book menu. But essentially, when I click translate book, I get to choose the language that I want to use. And I'm going to use Spanish. I speak Spanish, so it's easy for me. But there are 137 plus languages that you can choose from. And when I do that, it's going to create a new book. Now, that can take a moment, and I'm not going to bore you with a load screen. So I'm going to jump into this and show you how to translate a few other things. And also how to add some transcripts. So we've got my normal cover page here, and then I went ahead and pre-recorded a video and an audio to sort of simulate some instructions for parents. But these could be instructions for anyone. We know as teachers, communicating what needs to be done to the right people is so important, whether it's a newsletter or an assignment or just today's instructions. And so what we're going to do here is make some translations. The first thing that I'm going to do is click on my audio hotspot, and I'm going to add a transcript. And because I spoke in English, I'm going to generate those automatically. But I'll show you later how you can manually change those as well. And this just takes a moment, and I can come in and edit this transcript as I see fit. But I'm just going to hit save. And I can read the transcript, and I can edit it, and I can play my audio. But now I'm going to right click, and now I'm going to translate my audio instructions into the language that I want. I even have some voices here that I can choose from. Let's go with voice C. It's going to make a copy of that. Now let me jump over here to my video instructions. The same thing. I can quickly right click, add captions. I can speak in video and add captions in all of those same languages. So here I'm telling Book Creator what language I spoke. I'm going to generate those. This also takes a second, so I'm going to back out here and show you that my transcript is now completely written out for me. And when I click play, you can hear those audio instructions play through.
Hola, padres y bienvenidos al portafolio digital de...
All right, so now I need to get some text translated, so I can right click here, translate this into Spanish. Awesome. Oops, I meant to leave it in English. So I'm going to copy, paste, bring that down, jump up into here. I'm actually going to show you that you can be in here and you can translate text directly inside the text box, which is really awesome. So I'm going to take that back. I could have just undid, I suppose. And then up here, maybe I would translate these and make a nice smaller text box at the bottom. But I want to jump back to my video because now I have captions. So when I click on my video, I can see here that I have some English captions here. And again, you can go in and edit those if you'd like. But now I can jump in and I can add a translation, which is going to add in a Spanish translation of my captions. And what's really nice here is that you only need one video.
Hello there, my name is David Hotler and I'm the instructor.
And your audience can choose.
These are the instructions that you need to know for your student's portfolio.
Your audience can choose the playback language that they prefer. So just a few ways that you can translate on a single page, but I wouldn't want you to have to do that for the entire book. So remember back at the beginning there when I said, hey, hold on, check this out. I'm going to jump back into my library and I'm going to jump back over it. Remember, I just one click translated this book. Let's just take a quick look at it. I might have to make some adjustments here, but when I look at those pages, I can already see that things that I had in here are now translated for me automatically. Yes, in some places I do need to make a few adjustments, but really, guys, this is going to save so much time and make your message so much more accessible to all of your learners. All right, Katie, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Hotler. I love we're staying in that purple column, options for representation. So I'm going to hop over and show you our read mode. So a lot of times, obviously, we want kids to be creating a book creator, but sometimes you as the teacher might be sharing a book for them to read. And in the top corner, you're going to find this play button, and that will take you to our read aloud or read to me feature. And so in read to me, you can just press play and it will read it aloud, the words that are on the page. Or you can also play with some settings. So you can change the voices, you can change the speed. You can also decide if you want to see 2 pages at a time on the screen. So really some accessibility features for the read aloud, but also for students who might be blind or low vision, this is where they can also zoom in on the page really, really far. So if they need to zoom in to see something in our read to me feature, that is where they can do that piece, which is really nice. And for our last feature, something that you might not think is accessibility, but if you are a UDL person like I, green column of UDL, which is engagement, and publishing is what we're all about. After students do their creation, we want them to share it with the world. And having students be able to publish their books increases their engagement. So I'm going to actually hop out of this library to show you just where that publishing would happen. So you can click here and you will see you're not going to see publishing. So you need to get into the book view. And I'm going to hop over to this book that I haven't published yet and click play, select publish online. And this is where students can publish their books. And this is where you can also, if you're a teacher, make the book remixable to share a copy with maybe a teacher friend across the country who's not in your school or district. And that's really fun and engaging. But what takes it to the next level for students is the analytics. So after they publish a book online and they click on this analytics tab, they can see that it has been read all over the world if you share it in an authentic way. And that just gets kids excited and engaged and wanting to stay motivated in the learning process. So those were our favorite 5 accessibility features within Book Creator. We'd love to hear yours in the chat. And thank you so much for having us today. David, any last words?
No, Katie, you always sum it up so well. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Wow, that was just, I'm like blown away. I haven't used Book Creator for a while, like for a very long time. And then I just was, wait, what? You could do all those things? I'm just in shock now. I think I'm going to have to watch the replay myself and just go through it.
Yeah, and
amazing.
definitely keep an eye on our space. We have some cool things coming that we can't quite talk about, but will be good for accessibility.
And Katie and David and Mel as well, there's also a tool with that pen tool that's like a magic draw type of piece. So students who might have, trouble drawing a certain figure. I know that we've all had those students when we try to offer them those creative opportunities. Well, I can't draw this or I can't do that. It starts predicting what they're actually drawing, and then you can bring that in and customize it. So it also has those types of tools involved for accessibility as well. And I also noticed, got to give a quick shout out, Lois Alston has joined the chat. My partner in crime over here at Long Branch Public Schools. We appreciate you joining us, Lolo. Hope that your meeting went well. And we're just excited to welcome our next guests to the stage. And we thank David and Katie so much. We really appreciate it. That translation piece, I can't speak to it enough. We're just excited to promote it in our own district and hopefully get newsletters even more to the forefront where those families are also receiving accessible and inclusive materials. So thought you did a great job breaking it down in such a short amount of time, and we're just appreciative of you sharing all you can do with Book Creator.
Of course. And speaking of newsletters, I'm going to drop in the chat the blog that you wrote about creating newsletters with Book Creator, Alex. So I'll put that in the chat now.
It was an absolute pleasure, and we're just so thankful to collaborate with you. And just as kind of a lead into our next fabulous presenter, we actually did a little back experimenting before the session today, and Book Creator app books embed directly into Quizizz lessons. So I don't think that we can have a better transition than that to welcome our next guest to the stage, and Alana Colabella of Quizizz, who is their amazing community lead. And Mel, what else? What else do we have to share today? What are we going to be doing next?
Well, I mean, Alana is coming on right now, and I'm going to say thank you so much again to David and Katie for sharing, and we'll see you again very soon. But I'm just wowed by your presentation. That was amazing. See you soon.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think, should we let Alana take the stage now and do her thing?
Alana, we appreciate you joining us. Again, I'm going to drop it again. Jersey Strong here. So we're just thrilled to have you present with us. We see Kyle Nemus in the chat. We appreciate you joining us as well. And we can't wait to hear all you can with Quizizz right now.
Absolutely. I'm so excited, and thank you guys so much for having me. Really pumped to be talking about Quizizz and amplifying accessibility. And I also loved learning about Book Creator. That was so cool. I need to make my own account and play around as well. But all right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's see here. Mel, am I good?
Yes, I think that is you. Yes, fantastic. I will see you very soon, and have fun.
Fantastic. Okay, so I'm Alana. I'm the community manager at Quizizz. And again, I'm so excited to talk to you today about how Quizizz can amplify accessibility. So there really are so many different ways that Quizizz can help amplify your content, but I'm going to focus on 4. And I really hope I don't go over time here. I timed myself a couple of times, but I think I'm going to be good. But the 4 main things that I want to chat with you about today are our accommodations, Quizizz AI Enhance, our question types, and also our answer explanations. So again, there's so many things that you can do with Quizizz to really modify your content to meet the needs of your students, but those are the 4 main ones that I'm going to focus on today. And then I'm also going to have some resources for further learning for you guys to check out afterwards. So of course, I want to start with our accommodations. If you haven't seen these yet, they're absolutely mind-blowing. I remember when I was in the classroom, and I loved using Quizizz, but we didn't have these then. And sometimes I would actually make different versions of my Quizizz assessment in order to meet the needs of my students. With our accommodations, you do not need to do that because you're able to select your students, select accommodations for them, and then they are set for when you play your Quizizz game or assessment or activity. So it's really incredible because you could do things like extra time. You can have the quiz read aloud to students. There's extra participant attempts, and all of those are available on the basic plan. There's also different accommodations like dyslexia font and different languages as well, but some of those are behind the school and district paywall. So I know that that's always a big question, what's available to everybody and what's available to schools and districts. So everybody's going to get this slideshow, and I have the link there too, so that you could really see what's available to you or what's available for your school plan if your school does have a plan. But I can't talk about our accommodations enough. It's really, really amazing to see students that maybe weren't as confident and maybe they hadn't made the leaderboard when they were, playing a big Quizizz activity. But the accommodations that you're able to set to make that content more accessible for your students are really amazing. So if you have not checked these out yet, it is an absolute must. Put it on the top of your list. And on this slide here, here's just a couple more of the accommodations that we offer. So translate, font size, font space, bilingual dictionary, dyslexia font. So there's really a wide variety of different things that you can set to make sure that your content is accessible for your students. And again, I would definitely recommend checking out that link so that you could see what's available if you're on the basic plan or if you've got a school and district plan. All right. And after our accommodations, I absolutely love our AI Enhance too, because it really helps to modify the content that you may already have to meet the needs of your students. And there's so many different enhancements that you can do too with materials that you have made. So I have a couple of top favorites. I think it's really cool to be able to take your content and to convert it to a real world scenario. So if I'm going to be completely honest, science is a hard subject for me. It always has been. Kyle's the science teacher, not me. I'm ELA. But taking a complicated concept like mitosis and converting those questions into a real world scenario, automatically that makes it easier for me to understand the question and the content. So I really, really love that particular AI enhancement, especially for accessibility. You can also translate your assessment. So it's amazing. In just a few clicks and in a minute, you're able to take questions or your entire assessment and to translate it into a different language. And last but not least, at least for the ones that I'm going to be highlighting with you today, is that you can also take your assessment and make it sound like a famous person said it. So I really love this because, especially if you have students, maybe they're having difficulty with the content, maybe they're a little reluctant as well, and you need a little bit of extra engagement, being able to make your assessment sound like Dwight Schrute said it is automatically going to capture the attention of like any 8th grader. I know it did for mine. Or you can make it sound like Yoda. I mean, Star Wars is cool. It's been cool for a while, and it's I've got faith that it's going to stay cool. So making it sound like Yoda could just be that little extra bit to make sure that your students are engaging with the content and you're really making that content a little bit more accessible for them. So those are just 3 of our AI enhancements that you can use to modify the content that you have, but there are so many. So again, I have a link for a little bit more information, but there's so much that you can do with our AI Enhance, and it really is awesome for amplifying accessibility. So for sure, check this one out too. And to see these in action, we've got translating to another language in this GIF on the left. So you see it's really quick. We have a bunch of different languages that you could choose from. And then Quizizz AI does the magic. Like I honestly, sometimes like I'll do this and I can't even believe that this is real and that it's so fast, but it's pretty amazing. And then on the GIF on the right-hand side, it actually is taking the assessment and making it sound like Dwight Schrute said it, which I mentioned before. So I love this. It's awesome and a lot of fun. All right, we are moving, and I think I'm doing good on time here too. So I've showed you accommodations, I've showed you Quizizz AI Enhance. I want to really quickly just give you an overview of our question types and then also show you our answer explanations, which are so cool. But our question types, if you've been using Quizizz for a long time, like our accommodations and AI Enhance, those are like relatively new, but we've always had like a variety of question types, which are so awesome because they really help make sure that your students are able to demonstrate their knowledge of the content, right? So maybe some students are or feel more comfortable drawing the answer to a question, or maybe you want to allow them to give an audio response, which we did earlier with Mel and Alex. Maybe you want to use a video response, which is really cool too, or a poll, but we have so many different question types. So when you're thinking about how am I going to assess my students, to make sure that everyone has like an opportunity to really show what they know in their way, we have all of these different question types to choose from. So we've had these for a while, but if you don't know about all of these, there's a lot. And again, there's plenty that are available for the basic plan, but there's also a link to have a breakdown if you do just want to see what's specifically available depending on your plan. All right. I've got like the live stream where I don't see your faces, which is like so sad. I want to like see you guys and talk at the same time. But I know everybody's out there. I know Michelle's there. I know Kyle's there, Mel and Alex. And last but not least, I just want to tell you quickly about our answer explanations as well. And these are relatively pretty new too. And if you haven't seen these yet, like this blows my mind. Like the fact that this even exists, I think is just so crazy, but so awesome for making sure that students get the support that they need and that the content is accessible. So Our answer explanations, they're powered by AI, and you could toggle it on when you assign an assessment. But basically, when a student gets an answer wrong, it's going to break down why they got the answer wrong and explain it step by step. And then they're able to reattempt the question now that they have that explanation. So this is so amazing for accessibility because, one student could put A as the answer, and that was incorrect. Another student could put B as the answer, and that could be incorrect. But each student, no matter what they put or which incorrect answer they may have chosen, they're getting that tailored explanation to lead them to the right answer and to make sure that they are able to access that content and to have it broken down for them, very specifically. So I'm definitely a little obsessed with these, and I really would for sure encourage you to try this with your students sometime, in the next week or so, because it really is so cool. And I just love how tailored it is for each particular student. So those were my top 4 things that I really wanted to share with you guys. I could go on and on, but don't want to go too much over time. But if you do want to learn more, I would really suggest taking the Game Changer course. And it's linked right there as well, because you'll be able to learn all about the amazing things Quizizz can do. There'll be videos of me, videos of Kyle. It'll be a lot of fun, I promise. But if you do want to learn more, I think that's a really great resource, and there's a lot of information there. And then, of course, you'll have the link to our official PD deck too, so you could go and check out some of those slides that I went over just in case if you want to share them or to review them. And I would absolutely be happy to answer any questions. So if you've got anything, reach out to my email or on Twitter and X, and I would be so, so happy to tell you more.
Alana, I gotta say, I was so tempted to get myself back on stage when I felt you staring into the void of just your presentation. I did drop in the YouTube chat, "You're doing great, Alana. You're crushing it," like Kyle would say. And then I said to myself, she can't see that. So I just wanted it to be out there for posterity that I did actually really try to reassure when I know it can be a little disconcerting when you're presenting on a StreamYard. But you did an amazing job. And all I can think of, Mel and Alana, is the fact that, boy, what a group of pros that we brought in today, where I'm bloviating for about 18 minutes last time when I'm supposed to be keeping it tight to about 10 to 15 minutes. And we've just got pros coming on here left and right, keeping it in that short time span, being so impactful with their words. So, Alana, I thought you did a great job sharing all you can do with Quizizz, and just appreciative of everybody joining in to share what this presentation tool, what this interactive tool can do on the accessibility front so very much. So just appreciative of you and all you shared today.
Oh, thank you so much, Alex. You just made my whole day. And I always know you're rooting for me.
Absolutely.
Next time I'll have the second screen.
We're gonna get there. It took me a little bit. You're gonna get there too, Alana. You got this.
We're all works in progress.
Absolutely.
Wear that shirt.
I don't think I can say anything else. I mean, I love Quizizz, and I just loved how you presented it, and just like highlighting to different people. I know a lot of people are not joining this live, and those that are, they're super passionate in the chat, but there are others I know that will watch the replay and be blown away, about Quizizz and also Book Creator, making, like, I should bring on like David and Katie right now. Yeah, let's bring them on. There's like the resources here from you guys, but I will also drop the link to like this presentation in the chat later, so that you do have access to the book from Book Creator and the slides from Alana that have so many embedded amazing resources in there for you to go through and explore yourself. So I really do appreciate you guys. I mean, you're amazing, just being here. I know it's, either the evening, for David, like me, it's just the nighttime right now on Friday night, best way to spend our evening, sharing out about amplifying accessibility. This is like the way to go. But yeah, thank you very much for that.
And Mel,
Absolutely, I love
really
it.
quickly, I want to echo that. My apologies, David. I just have a question that's very top of mind. And in my older age, I start forgetting things. So I'd like to just ask it while I still remember it. Alana talked a lot about AI. While you and Katie did not talk about AI, it's still integrated within those tools that you're doing. It might not be generative or traditionally generative, but what role do you feel AI is going to play in accessibility for multilingual and neurodivergent learners moving ahead? what are some, if that's one question, and then the other one would be, what are other areas that AI can kind of be integrated into to try to make more accessible things, make more accessible materials for our learners out there? So either question, if anybody would like to share their thoughts.
Yeah, sure. I think AI and large language models are going to give us some really powerful patterns that those calculators can look at and see, and it's going to come down to us deciding how we safely show the data that's important to identify those patterns to some type of model. And the trends that we're hearing is that we're just not there yet, and so we're excited to see where this next evolution of compute takes us. But we are obviously, from Book Creator's standpoint, being cautious as we move forward, because we are authentic, and like I said at the beginning, simple is in our special sauce. So I think it's going to change education. I think it really already has. There's a huge shift. We're excited to be a part of it. We're also excited to continue to champion creativity and authenticity and be a safe space for students to express themselves. So
awesome.
Anyone else?
It's gotcha journalism here, Mel. I get it. And not to mention, it was a very long-winded question. There were two. I get it, everybody. I completely get it. But, again, that idea of, with quizzes, that ability to kind of change your quiz assessments or your activities or your practice tasks, and having language translations and speech-to-text transcription available in Book Creator. You just have so many different options that are available to our students. And again, just two great communities here today for anybody who's joining us. So we're going to talk about a call to action now for this Amplifying Accessibility, and we hope some people will participate, considering Book Creator and quizzes are about two great communities as it gets.
Right. So yeah, as Alex said, so basically we have like an accessibility challenge. So in the next month, we'd love you to identify one accessibility feature offered by an edtech tool that you already use and implement in your classroom, and share how this tool enhanced learning experiences for your students on socials. So you can use this hashtag, hashtag amplifying accessibility, to inspire others. Really love to see that, if that was trending, on Twitter /X or anywhere, that would be like so cool, to be able to see like how you guys are amplifying accessibility all around the world in your classrooms or outside of the classrooms, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. It will be so cool to be able to see that.
Yeah, we hope that these two great communities will participate, and anybody, whatever tool you're using out there, we appreciate that. As a tech coach, taking those risks, integrating technology into your practice sometimes can be a little bit scary, but for anybody doing it, we appreciate you. Hopefully showing the tools today, Katie, David, and Alana doing such an amazing job. Hopefully it's really inspired you to start using some of these tools in your own class.
Yeah, it's definitely inspired me. I need to really get and look at Book Creator again. I mean, that is some serious amazingness. There's just
we're going to get you up to speed, Mel. We're going to get some math word wall books for your kids over there in Malawi. We're going to do it. Believe me.
It doesn't have to be just maths. I think just promoting it. I'm like hoping some of my colleagues are going to like look at this link and then check out how amazing these platforms are and then what they can do with them and how simple it is. Because like I'm going to run like a PD sort of session for my staff in a few weeks, and Book Creator wasn't on that list, but I think I need to put it on there because I mean, there's just so much you could do with it. It's just epic. And there's so like different, because I'm at international school, there's, 60 different nationalities, I think. So people come from everywhere. So I think it'll be like super, super useful. And yeah, it's amplifying accessibility here. So yeah. So yes, inspirational, guys, inspirational. So looking ahead, actually, do you want to share about this, Alex?
Absolutely. So we have, at least as of right now, we have our third episode coming out on January 28th at 4:45 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be joined by Andy Knieven, the amazing Canva learning consultant who's just joined the platform. He's going to be talking to us about Canva. And then we have Britt Horn, my Moat ambassador leader, partner in crime, who's going to be sharing all about Moat's read aloud features and much more. So we would encourage everybody to tune in. You're going to have even more great features to kind of share with your students after watching our latest episode next week. But this episode 2. Feel so thankful to have shared the stage with everybody. A truly international event, considering we have people in Malawi, Spain, and America today. So just really thankful to have shared the stage with everybody. And all I was doing backstage was just nodding and being like, these are the instances where I miss being in the classroom as a teacher, because all of this kind of took off when I became a tech coach. But now, along with Mel, we're just ecstatic that we can promote this with our platform to be able to share it with the world today. And we're just thankful for everybody for presenting and being so kind and helpful throughout this process. So thank you all so much. And we really hope that people will continue to support this venture of Mel and I.
Absolutely. I mean, to anyone that's watching like live right now or watching the replay, remember these amazing presenters from today. Okay, they would love for you to reach out to them. I'm just saying this, but I'm pretty sure they would love for you to reach out to them if you're curious about anything that was shared today. You know, you're like, oh, I really like that, but I'm not sure about this. I mean, you just remember, I shared the slides in the chat. Okay, you have access to all of their contact details as well, whether they're on Twitter or Blue Sky or anywhere. Okay, they are there for you, and we're also here for you too. I mean, Alex and I mean, we didn't present, but you know, we're also here if you have questions. But book creators probably better to speak to, you know, the experts and Quizizz also. But yeah, we really appreciate you being here and supporting. And I don't know, there's no questions in the chat. I think everyone is just like super, super happy, like, and really appreciative of all of, oh, there's David right there. Okay. Yeah, that's fantastic. Sharing. Does anyone want to add anything before we end the session?
Thanks so much for having us on. Yeah, it's been great.
Sorry, jinx, David. Same thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
same. Thanks for having us. And I can't wait to hear what Andy and Brittany have to say next.
We appreciate it, everybody. We hope everybody out there watching has a wonderful weekend. And just thank you for tuning in to Amplifying Accessibility, everybody. We look forward to the next episode. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.